And a very good Monday evening. Welcome into Timeout here on TVNB. Another tough week for the St. John Flames. A big weekend for hoop fans out in the Valley. And Mike Tyson is headed back to jail. All that and a whole lot more coming up in the next 30 minutes. Stay right there. And a very good Monday evening. Welcome into Timeout here on TVNB. Jim Hennessy sitting alongside Bruce McDonald, sitting in for Barry Johnson. Nice to have you back, man.
Great to be here, Jim.
We got a lot to talk about, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to it. We'll start with the St. John Flames. Tough week for the boys. A 7-1 waxing at the hands of the almighty Kentucky Thoroughblades. They look fabulous. 7-1 on Thursday night here at home. Then they hit the road. A 4-2 loss to Providence on Friday night. And then they managed a tie, 4-4 against Portland on Saturday night. And now they're coming home, limping home, I guess would be the best way to term it, because these boys just can't seem to get on a winning roll. It doesn't matter if they're home or on the road, just can't seem to put anything together. A couple of pieces fell into place when Jean-Sébastien Giguère made his return back here to the farm, and they thought that would be a little stability in that, help the boys on the blue line, give them a little more confidence, but nothing seems to be working. Rick Vives tried different lineups. He's tried to change things around, shake things up a little bit. Nothing seems to be coming into play. What's wrong with this team?
Well, it seems obvious to me they need a couple of defensemen right now. I mean, Giguère is the man back there right now. He didn't play well in the Thursday night game at Harbor Station. However, he's done the job before, and he will do it in the future. But I think they need a couple of defensemen to help. Maybe like someone like maybe a Steve Bancroft.
That wouldn't hurt.
And of course, more scoring up front wouldn't hurt either. But I mean, they have some players up front that can put the puck in the net. I think the defense is the main problem right now.
Sure. Rick Vive has gone on the record saying that this team has to do something to try to turn this around within the next week or the next couple of weeks, because if not, they are in serious jeopardy of missing the playoffs for the first time in franchise history. Do you agree with that? I mean, well, I mean, obviously the Flames are on a little bit of shaky ground right now because, like we said, they can't seem to pull that consistency trigger together, and they are a little bit in jeopardy here of missing the playoffs.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that or not, Jim. They have about 9 or 10 games in hand on Portland, and actually they're still within a couple of points of Fredericton and St. John's right now.
Portland's been a team that's been a thorn in their backside the whole year. I mean, they can't beat them.
They have, and they should be able to beat that team. Because you look at the talent on the two teams, that should be a team they should beat every time out.
Absolutely.
But like you say, it's funny that way in sports sometimes. You have a team that has your number.
Once they've got your number, that's about it. How about Wednesday night? St. John's Maple Leafs coming into town. Always an entertaining game when these two teams get together. Of course, a couple of former Flames in the lineup for the St. John's Maple Leafs. So should be a good crowd, we hope, anyway, at Harbor Station.
I hope so.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And we should make mention that former Flames captain Jared Scaldi, of course, was in the lineup for the Kentucky Thoroughblades on Thursday night. That 7-1 humiliating loss in front of the hometown fans. And he put on a good performance, 2 points, and after the game he said it was nice to come back when he saw the game coming up on the schedule. Kind of put a little smile on his face to say, yeah, it's nice to go back to where, you know, you kind of got your start and spent a couple of good years here. So Jared looked pretty good out there.
Jared looked great, along with Steve Goala and Vasiliev. The top line for Kentucky has 3 players that could easily be playing in the National Hockey League right now, in my opinion.
No question. What about what else is going on? I mean, high school hockey, that is your forte. What's been going on there in the past week?
Well, this past week, I'll just talk with the AAA division for a while. St. Max had a busy week this week, Jim. They played 3 games at 2 wins and a loss, and but they're in trouble right now. In the AAA league, 4 teams of the 7 teams make the playoffs.
Sure. Right
now, Edmiston, Fredericton, and Normunkton are way ahead of the rest. KV sitting in 4th place, and basically St. Max has to win the rest of their games right now to get into that 4th spot. So it'd be too bad if we didn't see at least one city school.
Yeah, it makes it tough
in that league playoffs. Now the AA league, on the other hand, we had a busy week in the city this past week as well. And I'd just like to mention RCS played a couple of games this week. They lost 6-5 in overtime to Harborview on Monday night. Road shot 57-25 in that game. Then they beat Rossi High School Friday night 8-5. They outshot approximately 55-25 in that one. Adam Roy, goaltender for RCS, played 2 fantastic games.
I'd say so.
Just great.
Facing over 100 shots in 2 games?
Yeah, played fantastic.
I guess. So he's got his work cut out for them. And
he's holding them in right now. Him and Drew Simpson, forward for them, had 7 points Friday night as well. So, I mean, they're the two big stars for that team. And that team's been short bodies all year, and they work hard. Jeff Bateman's doing a great job coaching them and holding them in there. And we're hoping for that team to develop over the next couple of years and go back to being the powerhouse they were back in the 60s and 70s.
Absolutely, and like you said, it's going to be interesting down the stretch to watch and see if KV can make it into the playoffs because, like you said, I mean, we talked about local sports and why nobody comes out to the rink anymore, and especially in high school sports, and if you don't have that local flavor, it's easy to forget that the high school hockey season is over when you don't have a local entry into the playoff run.
Yeah, it's been a tough year attendance-wise for these schools, too. We talked about that last week as well, about not drawing fans out, but the local fans don't seem to want to come out and see St. Max and St. John High play or Moncton and Fredericton. They want to see them play each other and KV and Simons and get some of the competition from the AA schools like they've had in the past. With new team in Harborview in this year, that would have been perfect.
Oh,
you know, so
perfect scenario indeed.
Yes, but it'd be unfortunate if at least one of our city schools don't make the AAA playoffs.
No question. And we should make mention as well, coming up Wednesday night, you guys have doubleheader at the LBR every Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Who's on tap?
Well, this week, every week in high school hockey is busy in the city. I'll just quickly go through the weekly schedule what we have, Jim. We have Monday nights in Grand Bay. Harborview has their home games. Tuesday nights we have KV hosting out at the Quispamsis Arena.
Right.
Wednesday night doubleheaders at the LBR. Thursday night we have Rossay High School out at the KV Arena, and Hampton play Thursdays as well. And then Friday evenings are RCS home dates. So we have high school hockey every night of the week in the city. So I'd like to see more fans out. Absolutely. Good opportunity to see some of the local talent play some really tough and rumble hockey, and it's always entertaining, especially Wednesday night. You got to love that doubleheader because 6:45, correct me if I'm wrong, first game goes. So, I mean, there's plenty of opportunity. I mean, people get off work 5:30, have a bite to eat, head down to the rink, and what time do you usually wrap up? Like, I mean, because people do have to go to work the next morning, so. They're usually done by 11 o'clock, which is a bit late, but, like I say, if you want to come down, you pay one price for the whole night. So you want to come in and catch some of the first game and some of the second, you can do that. Exactly. Or stay for the whole doubleheader, or one game or the second, it doesn't matter. Sure. And how about the Junior B squad this week? Another tough week for them as well. Yeah, the Junior B squad had a tough trip up to Woodstock on Friday. They lost 7-0 up there. A fight-filled contest, I guess, over 300 penalty minutes. Jeez. Everybody was into it. And then they had a nice trip coming back. I guess one of the players left the VCR on the bus, so when they came outside, they couldn't get the bus started. So that delayed them. They're outside Fredericton coming back, and a drunk driver in front of them decided to do a U-turn in front of them, and they slammed into him and damaged the bus and sat in Fredericton for 3 hours while the police tracked this guy down. Unbelievable. And they couldn't get their equipment out of the bus when they got back. It damaged the overhead doors, and they had to have their equipment sit in the bus till 3 o'clock the next afternoon. When things are going downhill, they all go downhill. Everybody was all right on the bus, though? No injuries at all, and then, of course, I don't know if that affected them all for Saturday night's game, but they came out and they lost that one 7-5, and it wasn't a bad hockey game, really. Sure. Probably shook them up a little bit. Anything like that has to shake you up. Exactly. Especially traveling this time of the year. I mean, the weather's been fantastic, but when you're out on the highway and you get a bus full of, you know, predominant kids, you know, I mean, you want to make sure that you get there and you get there safe and you drive careful, and then when something like that happens, it just kind of shakes the, you know, shakes the team up, shakes the managers up, shakes the bus driver up for sure. So, Junior B squad, we wish them all the best, and glad to hear everybody came out of that incident all right. And we wish them all the best in what games they do have coming up left on the schedule. Hopefully they can make a good run for the playoff drive as well. Speaking of, let's turn the page over here to boxing. Mike Tyson back in the headlines, of course, this week, and I chuckle when I say that because, of course, Mike's been in the headlines for all the wrong reasons over the past couple of months. Tyson is back in jail as we speak. He could post bail today, and this results from, speaking of traffic accidents, he was involved in a traffic accident a couple of months ago, got out of his car, beat this guy up that he got in the accident with. So, of course, he gets a 2-year sentence from the judge, 1 year suspended, but he will have to serve 1 year in jail. And, of course, this stems into he was on probation at the time for the rape charges a couple of years back. He still has to reappear in court for his probation violation. So this guy could really end up doing about 3 more years in jail. That's what they're talking about. He's 32 years old. He was sort of on the comeback trail if you're a boxing fan. He really didn't beat anybody. He's had a couple of fights. Hasn't looked that great. But this really, I mean, if you're going to put a final nail in the coffin of a person's career, I would say that this is pretty close. Well, that's ridiculous. I wonder if you thank God for this one, too. You know, it seems he's a born-again Christian now. You can tell by his actions, too, can't you? Oh, sure. But I think jail is where he belongs. I mean, he's used up all his chances.
Right.
That fight he came back with, too, he's fighting a no-name, and if not for a lucky punch, he would have lost that fight.
That's
He's
it.
losing all rounds up to the point of the knockout, so
Sure.
I don't think there's anything left there.
But I mean, what does this say for the heavyweight division? I mean, Evander Holyfield, of course, is a great champion.
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis is still looking for his title shot. They want to try to unify all the belts again. And Mike Tyson, of course, you can't leave him out of the fold because he is a big drawing card. Regardless of whether you like the guy and his antics away from the ring, he is still a big drawing card. But I mean, you've got Larry Holmes, George Foreman. That fight supposedly is still supposed to happen somewhere down the street. I don't know. I've always been a big boxing fan, but I was always a heavyweight because the heavyweight division was the most exciting division to watch. It was considered for many years the biggest title in the world to hold on to. But what they've done to it and the way that it's been stripped down and dragged through the mud has really left a sour taste in my mouth. So I'm more of a middleweight division fan now, lightweight division, and I can't get interested in this heavyweight division anymore.
I agree on that, Jim, because like you say, the heavyweights were the marquee performers in the past. Like you say, you go back even to Muhammad Ali. I mean, he was class really out there, great fighter. But now, even the guys that are class acts, they're having their names ruined by what's happening. It almost reminds you of the WWF out there sometimes. It really does. But I agree with you. The top fighter in the world, pound for pound, is Roy Jones Jr., who's, I believe, a light heavyweight. And then you go back, I was listening to a radio show the other night, and they said the marquee fighter in the world right now is Oscar De La Hoya right now.
The golden boy.
Exactly. So
it'll be interesting to see what happens with Tyson. It always is. Anyway, we're going to take a trip out to the Valley. Over the weekend, the 13th annual Riverboat Classic was held at Kennebecasis Valley High School. Great, exciting basketball action, and with all the complete wrap-up on the tournament, Terry Ferguson files this report.
Terry Ferguson reporting from Kennebecasis Valley High School for the 13th annual Riverboat Classic Tournament. Girls final, St. Malachy 62, Moncton High School 59 in a thriller. With 5 seconds left in the game, Stephanie Wood went to the line to make one shot. With me right now is I have Stephanie Wood from St. Malachy's High School. I have Aaron Reed from St. Malachy's High School and tournament MVP Colleen Ryan. Anyways, girls, it was a fantastic game and very emotional. Next week we have the regionals coming. So I imagine it's comforting to know that you're on a roll going into the regionals. How did you feel firsthand about the game, Stephanie, and how do you see your chances coming up here in the regionals, and who are you going to be playing? Do you know that?
Well, our first game we're playing Riverview, and then I think if we win we'll be facing Fredericton, so it's going to be tough. Like, this tournament's going to boost up our confidence a little bit. I think we were confident going into this game, but they gave us a pretty good run, I guess.
How did it feel being on the foul line when the Moncton High coach decided to call 3 timeouts to, as we call it in basketball, ice you? So here you are on the line waiting.
Well, I think if that's what she was trying to do, it worked a little bit. Well, I made my first one, but I kind of choked on my second one.
Anyways, you came out victorious. Aaron, how's it feel to win the tournament firsthand? I think it's the St. Malachy's girls' first time you've won this tournament. How did you feel, and how did you feel your teammates played today?
I think we came out very strong at first, and you know, it was our first tournament winning, and we were very proud. We wanted our seniors to be proud of that, and we want to take it back, and we want to prove to St. Max that we are a top team in St. John, and we want to bring it to the regionals, and then maybe, you know, get back into the provincials. Yeah.
Colleen, you're the tournament MVP. You ended up with, I think, 14 points today, and you had just a marvelous tournament, both defensive and offensive. And firsthand, how's it feel to be the MVP and winning the tournament, and maybe make a few comments about how your team played today and your chances of how you feel you're going to match up in the regionals coming up next week?
Well, I think it's an honor to be MVP along with all the other girls, and I think our team played really good. We moved the ball well and made good passes and didn't make all the mistakes that we usually do, but I'm proud that we won. Yeah.
That's great. Just on a side note, Steffi, I understand that outside of basketball, you're also playing with the Canada Games hockey team.
Yep.
And when are you going away with that?
We are leaving in 3.5 weeks for Newfoundland.
For Newfoundland?
Yeah.
Excellent. Terry Ferguson for timeout, and I'll be back shortly with head coach Bill Reed.
It was back in '58. 7 of us were trapped together in the mine after the bump. We lay by a pipe to breathe. My leg was broken. Percy was dying beside me. But I said, Come on, boys, the Lord is watching for us. And I started singing. Then we all sang. 8.5 days, no food. Even drank our own, you know. And I just happened to shout into that pipe when the dragomen were passing by. Some good folks in the U.S. gave all its survivors a free holiday in the South. Said I couldn't stay with the others because of my color. The boys were going to refuse, but I said no. We'll all have a holiday, then we'll be together again. And we were. 74 died in that bump. But that was life around the Spring Hill mines. Closed now. So much death. But my, didn't we sing those hymns together?
With me now is Bill Reed, head coach of St. Malachy's High School. Bill, fantastic finish. 3-point shot from Moncton with 8 seconds left. Kind of nicked the side of the scoreboard. How were you thinking, and what were you saying to your players when all of a sudden you were pretty much winning the game and you were leading most of the game, and then all of a sudden it's 59-59 with 8 seconds left?
Well, essentially, this Moncton team just would not go away. Throughout the game, we've had various leads, and leads that we probably would consider comfortably, but Moncton's a very patient, very fast team, and they continue to come at us, and essentially they wore us down. And to come back with seconds left in the game, 5 seconds or so, and McCardle took the 3-point shot, it went in, and we're into a tie game. I mean, it's very exciting for the fans. It's a little difficult for coaching and players as such, but our girls maintain their composure, which is very important, and we're able to finish in fine style and essentially from the line, and that means a lot to us. We struggle from the foul line at various times and in key games, and to do this at this juncture of the game is very, very important, and it's definitely instilled a lot of confidence in our team.
Bill, I noticed that Moncton came out and really played a high-tempo game. Your team kind of got involved in playing high-tempo, and it kind of went against you. Was in the very closing minutes of the game, was there anything that you told your team to be perhaps maybe a little bit more patient? I knew you were wanting that, but what were you saying to them?
Well, I think they could probably hear me from St. John telling my players on the court to hold the basketball and run as much time off the clock as possible. But what happens with young people, they get into panic mode, they see a free lane, they take it, and the next thing you know, it's boink off the backboard, and we're going in the other direction. But we were able to, again, like I said, maintain our composure and come through with the win, and heck, that's quite important for us.
Bill, just to move off now, we have next week on Friday, February 12th, you're off to Fredericton. And you finished third in your side of the conference in the regionals. Fredericton's hosting the regionals. And I believe Riverview finished second. And that's who your first game matchup is going to be with. How do you feel your team's stacking up? And is there anything that you're going to be working on here in the next week with your team to get yourself ready for the regionals?
Yeah, well, we're sort of familiar with the Riverview team. In fact, we found ourselves in the very same position last year with Riverview at right off the hop in the regionals. Riverview is a very big team, which I guess we prefer to play against the big team. We have some big girls, and when we play small teams, we run into difficulty. So we like our positioning with the big team in Riverview. We'll be pressing in their backcourt, of course, and I think that that game will be very important for us as far as setting us forth, and it will showcase the game that we have. And it's a big inside type game for us, and that will showcase us. And if what I believe we have, I think that we'll come out on top if we maintain again our composure, which is obviously important.
Great, Bill. Just wanted to thank you on your time here to come over and say a few comments. Now, congratulations on your tournament victory here. Terry Ferguson for TVNB on Timeout. We just finished a championship game at the 13th annual KV Riverboat Classic, where Kennebec-Cases Valley High School defeated Cobequid Educational Center from Truro 65-48. With me now are Andrew Monroe to my left. Andrew was a tournament all-star, played in the championship game, Andrew, and you scored yourself 16 points. In the middle is the MVP of the championship game, Justin Marr. Justin had 4 3-pointers and ended up with 17 points. And to my far left would be the tournament MVP, Stefan Schroeder. Stefan had an excellent game defensively on the floor, as well as 11 points. Andrew, I just wanted to ask you a few questions about the tournament. It was an excellent, excellent tournament. The fans are into it. 4 straight wins for you. Now you're going to the regionals next week in Fredericton, and I just wanted to ask you what this tournament and winning your own tournament means to your ball club.
Well, winning this tournament means to the ball club that we'll be going into the regionals on a winning note, positive, and it also helped bring recognition to the players and athletes at school at Kennebec-Cases High with the Riverboat Classic, and also bringing school morale up a little bit, and also positive for the basketball team.
Great. Justin, you're out there today. I think I was wrong. You hit 5 3-pointers, ended up with game-high 17 points once again. And just how does this feel right now for your confidence, but also your team's confidence going into next week? And make a comment about your fans here. It was very, very noisy today.
I think the fans were really good. We usually don't get that many out, but this was great. I think we'll do good against Fredericton. Last time we played them, they really beat us pretty bad, but I think now this gives us a little boost. We shot really well. We played great defense the whole tournament. I think it'll be great.
Now we go with you, Stefan. It was an excellent game. You had an excellent tournament. I've really seen myself personally the level of your game, your complete game, really improve. Right from the defensive end to the offensive end. How's it feel firsthand to be a tournament MVP? And of course, your teammates also had a great game. And now you got the regionals to look forward to. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're going to look really forward to the regionals. We didn't do too well against, as Justin said, the Fredericton game, but we played into a 3-point game here, and I guess winning this tournament, I guess, is just good for the seniors, because it's our last tournament at KVHS, our last game at KV. It's always good to go out on a high note. So I'm looking forward to, hopefully going to the provincial final game.
With me now is Dennis Rollins, the head coach of Kennebec-Cases Valley High School. Dennis, a tremendous game, 15-point win. What do you think? It's next week. You're off to Fredericton for your start of your regionals. What does this tournament mean? You had great performance from a lot of your senior players and all the kids on the bench. Everybody really contributed this weekend at your tournament.
Well, anytime you win, it's fun and it's great. I think the most pleasurable part is we only give up 209 points in 4 games. That's only 52 points, and that, from my point of view, that is so pleasing, because defense will put us in good standing when we go next weekend up there. But yeah, it's nice to get on a bit of a roll, and because we've been pretty inconsistent since Christmas. Yep. And but yeah, I've got a lot of good play out of a lot of different people this weekend. Yep, it was pretty good.
Dennis, we're going to talk a little bit now. We're going to go to the regionals on Friday, and you guys are over in the Fredericton bracket. And what we have is we have Fredericton in first place. We have Riverview in second. You'll be playing Riverview. You're in third place in that regional setting. And then we have Bathurst in the 4th spot. Firsthand, how do you see yourself filling out that bracket and advancing to the final? You have Riverview with your first game on Friday.
Well, we haven't seen Riverview since early in the year, and obviously Brian will have them ready to play. There's no doubt about that. And so I hope we're not guilty of looking past that game to the Fredericton game, but we'll go and just do the things that we do best and look up when it's over and see what the score is.
I've always noticed, as the end of the year comes, the scores in the basketball games around the province really tighten up within 10-point range. Now, over in the other regional, just get maybe your opinions or your comments on what you think. We have Moncton hosting the regional. In second place, finishing second, would have been Oromonto. Third place will be, I believe it's Harrison Trimble. And then we have St. Max finishing 4th, who'll be playing Moncton in the first game, and at the Dairytown, just up the highway, they beat St. Max beat Moncton, the #1 team, by 6. How do you feel that section's going to go?
Well, I think there's anybody can come out of that side, honestly. Moncton has been the best team on that side all year long, but seeing what happened to them, St. Max, I just want to play St. Max in the first round game up there. Ormuckto's got some injuries. Trimble, they work awful hard, so could be anybody, really. If I was to pick somebody, I kind of like Tom's bunch. St. Max, I wouldn't want to play St. Max right now. They're really playing well.
Excellent. Congratulations on your tournament victory.
Thank you.
Terry Ferguson from Kennebec-Aces Valley, 13th Annual Riverboat Classic Tournament. KV victorious by 17.
Thank you very much to Terry Ferguson for that fine report from the 13th Annual Riverboat Classic out of KV. And once again, congratulations to the men's side, the KV Crusaders capturing the crown, and to the ladies' side, St. Malachy's. Great job from both teams, and best of luck in the playoff stretch, and best of luck in the provincial tournament coming up as well. Bruce, I want to thank you for coming in. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Look forward to sitting down and talking to you again next week as well.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you very much for your time. We certainly hope you have a great week, and we hope to see you again next Monday at 6 for Time Out here on TVNB.